I'm going to call us, I'm going to call, I'm going to call us to order. It's not, Nikki, it's not really playing. Hello? Hello? Okay, great. I'm going to call us to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Thank you. We have all 5 board members present this evening, and student board reps, Reagan's on his way, but they will all 4 be here. So thank you, students. We need to adopt the meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Meredith. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Diana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. So we have a couple of presentations. However, we are missing one of our people. Oh, great. Okay, Reagan's walking in. We shouldn't have been so quick. I know. With that. Yeah. Come on up, Reagan. Dr. Irish, do you want to kick off the recognition?
All right. Well, here is our opportunity to wish our 2 seniors a happy moving on to the next chapter in your life, and congratulate you for an amazing leadership role that you played in the school district over the last 2 years, and actually all 4 years while you've been at the school. So I'm going to start off with a few words, and then I'd love to turn it over to everybody else to just say a few things. But it's been an absolute pleasure working with both of you. I've really enjoyed our monthly meetings. You two have really shepherded both of our juniors in the focus groups and the research that you did this year. Last year we did something a little bit different, and then this year we tried something new. But each year that we've been doing this, second year in a row, you've been able to add a lot more input in making that more realistic and relevant to the work that we're doing. And you've created a legacy as the first seniors to implement this really focused leadership opportunity and gathering and talking with students and getting information and bringing that back to the principals. And your 2 colleagues over here are going to be able to take that legacy and grow it and build it for years to come. It's just been also such a great pleasure getting to know both of you, being able to go to WASDA, hang out, get to see you. You both have really bright futures ahead, and I'm really proud of both of you very much. And thank you for all of the feedback that you've given and for your engagement all the way through these last 2 years. Deep respect for both of you, and don't lose touch. Okay.
I'll say a little something, and then we have some gifts for you, so I'll bring them over while others are talking. But I think the thing I want to focus on is, well, certainly appreciate all the time. I don't think most people know the time commitment that you both have put in, attending these evening business meetings, study sessions when you can, going to site visits, all of the time you spend on your projects. It's just like a lot of extra volunteer time that you put in to provide a service to students that you represent. So I just appreciate that. But I think my favorite memory is the first year we went to WASDA in Spokane, and how quickly you both made connections with all the other student board reps from around the state, how just to see them gathered around you and how you represented our district and how you shared about the project and shared some of the things you're doing, and just the connections you made with other students. I just knew like right away that you're both going to be like really valuable on this board and bring a perspective that was really important. So I appreciate it. And I also want to name that we were fortunate enough to be able to recognize Reagan on Monday night. Was it this week? This week. With the Chris Borgen Leadership Award. And I had the privilege of being in the district and working in the district when Chris Borgen was superintendent. And I respect him so much. He was just an amazing leader and So it's just a huge honor to be able to give the leadership award. And we already recognize Reagan, but I, on accident, forgot the certificate at my house. So I gave Reagan an empty folder and said, I'll bring it on Monday or on Thursday. So anyway, I have the certificate for you and the scholarship that goes along with it, Reagan. But thank you both for your service. And I'm going to pass it off to other folks to talk, and I'll bring you over your gifts that we have for you. So also congratulations on graduating.
Thanks, Jenny. I also wanted to point out that one of our, probably our largest partner that we work with in the Community Schools Foundation, last week also recognized both of you. Reagan awarded 2 scholarships on the ASF scholarship night, and purely coincidental because I have nothing to do with the selection process. But Wesley was the recipient of my family's scholarship, the 9/11 Memorial Scholarship. And so that was pretty cool to see both of you guys recognized that way. Thank you for all the work that you've both put in, and best of wishes to each of you.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I've only known you guys for 6 months, but the amount of personal growth that I've noticed in each of you is tremendous. And I can see that going forward through this summer and next year when you go on to college, just continuing to grow as people, and the amount of that you give back to the community, stick with that, because that's who you guys are, and it really shines, and we really appreciate it.
Okay, I won't say any embarrassing stories, and I won't cry.
Not one?
Not one. But I will brag a little bit, even though, so I think I got to spend more time with you than a lot of people, a lot of adults, and I felt very lucky this year as we figured out a new project to work on together. But I will never forget Reagan. When you and Brady were surrounded by students, and every single person at WASDA wanted to know how these students at Anacortes were getting feedback from their peers. And you have always been such a leader, Reagan, and to have representation from Capsani, you have made sure to keep us on track. And I think I've said this to you already, but we will do our best to make you proud going forward. I look forward to hearing about, because I know you're going to loop us in, what you do next. And Wesley, you have just brought an energy and an awareness, and also you've made sure that when we weren't doing something right, you told us about it. And I appreciated you so much when we were talking to the principals, and you'd say, nope, wait, I disagree. I want to talk about this. I have questions. And both of those things, advocating for people and asking questions. Keep doing it. We'll keep trying to make you proud. Thank you so much for the last 2 years.
And so that I don't repeat what everyone has said, I think one of my favorite things is watching all of the other things that the two of you do on campus and with your friends and in the community, and how you still find time to be here and bring that voice to this place. So it's almost like you go out and gather all of the things and then come back to us. And it's been really fun to, I'm always surprised. I'm like, oh, there's Reagan pole vaulting. Oh, and look, Wesley's doing 5 sports. And you're in all the leadership stuff. And it's just been really fun to watch you engaged and then to bring that voice to us. I've appreciated it, and it's been fun. So congratulations. Woohoo!
And I know Dr. Clifford and the students want to say things too. So.
I'll keep this really quick and brief. I really appreciate it. I spent a little bit more time with you last year with your project, and then saw you through this year. But the things that I wanted to recognize, one is that you were also awarded last year the WASA Award for student leadership and for your work on the board, and that was truly a reflection of the work that you've done and what you brought to the board. And I just don't want to spend too much time, but your growth and your leadership and just how you have continued to show up day in, day out, every time. And this was already said, but the two of you, both of you, were really intentional about representing CAP and ASF, and I'm sorry, AHS. Sorry, it's time to be. It's time. But you both really did a good job of making sure, even in your projects last year, of thinking of both and trying to think about how do we really bring the best of both worlds to each of the schools, and making sure that both of the schools were represented. And that was truly important, and a legacy that you will lead.
I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you both being super welcoming to when I came in partway through the year, and so I feel like I was totally set up for success, and I wasn't nervous or worried about anything because I knew that both of you would kind of lead the way for me. So I really appreciate you guys, and I'll really miss you next year.
Okay, I just wanted to say that Reagan is actually the whole reason I'm even here right now, because we were at track doing warm-ups and Reagan was like, you should try for school board. And I was like, no, my math grade is too low. And Reagan was like, that has nothing to do with it. So then from that moment on, like, I don't know, it's just been so fun. And I got to work with Reagan for our project. And we just are like the perfect team. Like everything we do just works. And I know, Wesley, I haven't gotten to work with you as much, but the times I have, it's been really great. And I'm really going to miss you guys.
All right, I would like the two of you to come up in front of the board because Nikki's going to get a picture.
Did you really?
It's my motto. All right, so Reagan and Wesley, your time is officially done. You're welcome to stay as long as you want in the audience, but we don't ask you to. You can also take your name tags. Those are yours.
Take your name plates.
Your name plates, yep.
And you definitely don't have to stay since you probably both had a really late night. Maybe you didn't have a night last night.
Yeah, I hope your senior night was a blast.
Enjoy your summers, and we can't wait to hear maybe when you're home for a weekend or the holidays. All right, and Dr. Irish is going to do the oath of office for our two new student board reps that we're welcoming onto the board tonight.
We are very honored and excited to welcome two new student board representatives to the Anacortes School District. So I am going to start, let's see who I have first here. I'm going to start with Casey. So Casey, you're going to come right up here, and we're going to face the audience here. And then I'm going to give you a script so you can follow along. So you don't always just have to listen. You can listen and read. All right. So I'm going to ask you to hold your right hand. Hold up your right hand, okay? And you're going to repeat after me, okay? All right. I, Casey Knight, do hereby solemnly swear
Do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Student School Board Representative of Anacortes School District Number 103,
will faithfully discharge the duties of Student School Board Representatives of Anacortes School District Number 103.
Nice. That's a big mouthful, isn't it? Skagit County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability.
Skagit County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability.
Perfect. I do now swear you in. You are an official Stu Board representative, and you can come over and sit here, and then we will have you sign. You'll hold that. All right, Zephyrin, come on up. Follow along as well. Perfect. I, Zephyrin Earhart, do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Student School Board Representative of Anacortes School District Number 103,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of Student Board Representative of Anacortes School District Number 103,
Skagit County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability.
Skagit County, State of Washington, to the best of my ability.
You are now sworn in as an official Student Board Representative. Congratulations. You may have a seat. Yep, perfect. And then, okay. All right. And you two have two amazing mentors here who will help support you. Super exciting.
Awesome, thank you. Well, welcome. You all can just kind of get the lay of the land this evening. You don't have to do anything else other than listen. But we're super excited to have you both on the school board for the next 2 years, and just really look forward to working with you and getting to know both of you a little bit better throughout the 2 years that you're going to be with us. So, all right.
Can I also just want to recognize Dr. Dewey, who's in the audience. I know, but Dr. Dewey, she did an incredible job really giving you both references and has a huge belief in the two of you, and really appreciate Dr. Dewey for being a part of this process, of being the principal of the high school and being an amazing principal of the high school. So she is in your corner as well.
And I'll just echo that, and thank you for your time during a really busy week. We won't do this again in June, but really appreciate you spending an afternoon with us and helping to select these two individuals. So thank you. Great. So we are going to move in. Do we have public comments this evening? We're not sure. Oh, yeah. No? Okay, great. We don't have public comments. So we're going to move into superintendent and assistant superintendent comments.
All right. So I first want to recognize we have 4 wonderful employees in our school district who are retiring. They couldn't be with us this evening, but I want to recognize them publicly for the great service that they've provided to our students, to this community, and to the school district. First, I want to recognize Victor Garcia. He has served for 24 years of dedicated service to the Anacortes School District as a science teacher. He actually was not working this year, but took a leave for the school year, but is officially retiring at the end of this year, and an amazing science teacher, and we wish him well. Tony Vettioni, who is 32 years of dedicated service to the Anacortes School District as counselor at Island View Elementary. And he is throwing a big party tomorrow night, so we're excited to, and with a band, I hear. So, but congratulations to Tony to 32 years of service. It's incredible. And then Julia Adams Jordinger, 9 years of dedicated service to the Anacortes School District as a school psychologist at Mount Erie Elementary, Fidalgo Elementary, and Anacortes High School, and we wish her the best. And then David Rodriguez, who's been served 16 years of dedicated service to the Anacortes School District as the network support analyst for the district. And he has done incredible work behind the scenes, helping navigate, make sure our networks are working, and wish him well as well. I also want to take a moment and recognize Heather Paddock. And then I have more comments for that. So I do want to take a time and have everybody recognize her, and then I will continue talking. But Heather, can you come on up for a moment? Yes, 3 years. Good. All right. So Heather is moving on to the Edmond School District, where I used to work, and so excited that she's going to be a part of that community, which also has a special place in my heart. And I know you're going to be well loved and taken care of there. I am going to miss you so much as an individual, but the system is going to miss you as well. The amount of work you have done to build systems in the teaching and learning department, the relationships that you have built with teachers, with principals, with paraeducators, the consistent theme that I hear as I walk around the schools is the immense amount of respect and feeling of warmth that they get from you, and the trust that they have in you from day one. Not only are you an expert in understanding teaching and learning and principalship, and understanding the technical aspects of this job, you come in with such grace and our ability to make change happen, complex change happen through relationship, through gradual steps, or through force even if needed because of the charm and the care that you bring to the job. You can do it, yes. And it's leaving a huge hole in our organization to have you gone. And this is not something that we would have ever wanted. And I wish that you were able to stay with us for a long more time. Your time isn't over. But for all the reasons we know, we have to say goodbye. But I also know you're going to make great things happen in Edmonds and beyond. You have an amazing future ahead of you, whether it be principal or central office leader or superintendent or wherever you want to go. You really have a lot of talent, and you've inspired me, and I'm going to miss you so much. So I would like to see if anybody else would have any other comments to say about Heather.
Heather, we just got started, right? Gosh. I want to point out that I appreciate you never making me feel stupid. And I know that sounds silly, but you, as smart as you are and as fabulous as you are at your job, you always found ways to make sure that I understood what you were talking about and never made me feel less for not knowing all of the language and the lingo and all of the things. And it was a really safe and comfortable place to be with you. Thank you.
We'll just go down the line. Okay, not gonna cry. From the day you started, my friends who are teachers were just so excited to learn from you. They immediately trusted you. And I think it's equally important that our teachers are excited to learn and continue. That's part of the process, right? And I can't thank you enough for showing us what that looks like. I look forward to seeing what you do, and we'll miss you very much. But thank you for that.
I want to say that I have a very personal insight and connection into the job you were stepping into. And I just want to publicly acknowledge how challenging and complex the job is. To be a director of teaching and learning in a district of the size of Anacortes, where you have literally no staff, you have no support folks helping you, and the fact that you jumped in and dove in, and it probably was nothing like the district where you came from, where there was a whole department. So I just appreciate how much you just dove right in and just was willing to do anything to do the job. And then I just want to echo what Diana said, because I have a lot of connections with teachers around the district, and this is kind of a district where people stick around. And so to come in new to a district like this is challenging, and I never heard a single negative thing about you. I feel like what everybody has said, the teachers immediately trusted you, immediately was like, thank goodness we have Heather. So that just speaks to not just your knowledge and skill, but how you carry yourself and how you present yourself to people, and how you came in and immediately attended to building relationships and just being here to do what people needed. So thank you. And I also am sad that we weren't able to keep you in our district.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate some of the comments too, that your inspiration to all of us and the grace which you carry yourself is also inspiring in itself. And I've only known you for a few months, but already miss you. But we know you're going to do great things in Edmonds. So good luck there.
Before I echo everybody else's comments, because I think we've all had a similar and very, very positive experience, I just want to say thank you, because it's been fun in between breaks to talk about 90s rock and roll with you and trade tastes in Peloton instructors. Anyhow, but at the expense of being redundant, but I think it's important because these things we all observed and appreciated, was such an effective and clear communicator, and to Merida's point, breaking down a lot of the jargon for those of us who aren't steeped in the industry but are responsible for decisions was huge, and thank you for that. The kindness, the grace, and the patience, which kind of goes with the first part, explaining things to us like we're 5, but doing it with grace and kindness, that's a rare skill, and you've got it 100 times over. And then to the other point, I've got a lot of friends in the district who are teachers, and every one of them that I've ever talked to, when you've come up, they immediately just express this deep respect for you as a person and a professional. And while I'm concerned about our district going forward, I'm very excited for what Edmonds is getting. I think, if it's okay now, we as a board have a gift for you. So I'll go ahead and, okay.
Oh, you're going to see my softer side, but I'm not going to let you. I might not be able to speak. I think I'll save my comments till later.
I wrote my comments down because I knew I would be nervous, and I'm going to try to not cry. Thank you for this opportunity to address the board, Dr. Irish, Dr. Clifford, and my fellow cabinet members way in the back. First to the board, it has been a pleasure to work, and student reps, it has been a pleasure to work with you over the past 2 years. I greatly appreciate your investment in and support of the students, staff, and community of Anacortes. You have set a tremendous example of how a dedicated group of individuals can make a difference in the lives of so many. Thank you for your service. To Becky, thank you for bringing me into Anacortes and into a role that has always been a dream of mine. From the start, you have been a thoughtful and patient mentor as I have navigated a new position and district, answering all of my questions, even the silly ones, being a thought partner through challenging situations, and always reminding me that everything is figure-outable are just a few examples of why I am so grateful to you. Thank you for all you have done for me. Justin, thank you for entrusting me with such a pivotal role in the school district. I can remember our first meeting on that hot June day in your office like it was yesterday. We immediately connected about all things teaching and learning, and I have always enjoyed our brainstorm sessions and next steps and like crazy ideas. You've had to make some really difficult decisions during your tenure here, and you've always kept student learning at the heart of everything. Thank you for providing vision, strategy, collaboration, and above all, compassion for the work. To my fellow cabinet members, I'll miss our camaraderie and collaboration in support of students and also one another. It has been such a joy to learn from each of you. You are all truly brilliant at your jobs, and Anacortes is very lucky to have you. As I prepare to embark on my next chapter, I want to express my deep gratitude for the opportunity to serve as Director of Teaching and Learning. Working alongside such a dedicated group of teachers and leaders has been a true privilege. Together, we have made significant strides in enhancing educational experiences for our students, and I'm immensely proud of what we have accomplished. I will always cherish the memories and the impact that we've made together, and I'm wishing the district continued success and all the best in its future endeavors. Thank you.
You're welcome. I feel like we would be remiss not to mention just I want you to end on a happy note, but also I just want to say that that the budget situation that the state has put us in has forced us to make really tough decisions, and I think that we should just acknowledge that and say that this is not anything that any of us would want, and it's not what's best for our district. So.
All right, thank you. I do want to echo that this is not what's best for our district, and it was really a hard decision as we're thinking about the least impacts to student learning to cut the director of teaching and learning, and I hope that we're able to take some action and have some clear actions to engage our legislators in this open session that's coming in this next year. I do have a few more updates. We have the State of the District next week. It's a little odd that it's that it's after school ends, but that's the way it worked with the schedule this year. It's on June 20th, and it's hosted by the Anacortes Schools Foundation and the Chamber. And so I really hope to see you and everyone else who wants to be there. If you haven't registered, you can register online, and it is a luncheon. And then I also want to say that we're going to have a press release that's going to come out here tomorrow, I believe, that we are looking to enhance our transparency and accessibility at these meetings. So we are excited to announce the launch of our new YouTube channel, and it's going forward. The school board meetings will be broadcast live and archived for easy access. So it'll eliminate the licensing expenses for Zoom, which will result in substantial annual savings for the school district. The YouTube will be recorded for any time final action is taken or formal public testimony is accepted. The requirement is that it's audio recorded, but we're going one step further to make it streamlined on video as well and archived. So our new channel will extend beyond our local boundaries, so parents, students, and community members worldwide can now participate in our discussions and stay informed. And parents, students, and community members who cannot attend our meetings can now do so at distance work, or if they have other commitments, they can still engage, so hopefully reduce boundary or barriers. They also will be closed captioning so that people who are deaf and hard of hearing can have access. And it can also be translated into over 80 languages to provide accessibility. So those of you who are interested will need to subscribe to, and it's easy to subscribe, and you can do that online. And it will also be, I think, on Facebook as well. You can see it and subscribe. So I want to thank Nikki for her hard work in making this happen. She was the genius behind all of it, and then working with Rich and with James to make it happen. So thank you, Rich and James, as well. I also want to, I shared in a couple weeks ago with you all, and an announcement will go out later next week about our free meal program to include all students at Fidalgo Elementary and Mount Erie. So all of the students now at those sites will qualify for free meals. And the reason why those two schools are selected for free meals is due to the free and reduced lunch percentage points. Island View is just very close. If there was just a few more applications that were submitted, they would have also had free meals as well. So we're going to work really hard next year to make sure that, Nikki says there were 7 students away from being able to qualify for free meals for everyone. But I also want to note that just because Mount Erie and Fidalgo are getting it next year, it's a very, they just barely passed the threshold. So if parents don't sign up again next year, it could be that those free meals will be taken away. So our goal is to communicate this as much as possible and to help make those forms be as accessible as possible, and encourage everybody to sign up because it could benefit all of our elementary kids. I also want to share that we have a Sunbucks program to ensure nutritious summer meals for students. So the Sunbucks program will provide $120 per eligible child to purchase nutritious food over the course of summer. And so students who are already receiving free and reduced lunch price or are a part of that program will automatically be enrolled in this program, which is another benefit for families filling out the free and reduced lunch forms. This is not just about lunch or breakfast. There are also multiple other benefits that our families and students receive if they qualify for this service, including reduced fees or sometimes free services within the school district. I want to also share that a couple weeks ago, we had my final Superintendent Advisory Council meeting for the year. And as a part of that, we were talking about what does the structure look like and how do we continue to improve that structure to engage, both benefit the district and benefit our community. So one thing what's incredible about the Superintendent Advisory Council is there's a group of committed community members and families who are there to be my advisors. And they help poke holes in my thinking. We share information about our strategic plan, our key initiatives. We look at data. And we also talk about the key messages that we might have as a district, but also hear from the community about what are you hearing on the street? And there might be misinformation on the street, and how do we get ahead of that information? And so we decided to continue our meetings next year. They're quarterly meetings. And some of the adjustments we're going to make to the format and structure to make it more relevant for both the district and for our community is each meeting I'll send a survey out to the community who are a part of this group to help give input several weeks ahead of time about what they're interested in. So if there was a topic I might bring a cabinet member, or I might pull together some research and bring that to them. We also discussed that we don't really want it to be the district always up talking, that it needs to be an engagement, and there's more of a round table discussion that's very informal. So I'll prepare information that I feel that they might need or that they want based on that survey, and then send out those materials in advance if needed. But I think also what's more important is that we intentionally invite them to all other meetings. They are our advisory council. They're my number one group of community members and parents who, again, are providing me the feedback that I need. So I'm going to make sure that when we send out invites for anything like the tech forum that happened a couple weeks ago, that they are aware of everything so that they can come to everything and help spread the word and be our advocates, our allies, as well as our constructive, critical thinkers about the work that we're doing. So I'm going to invite them to our Java with Justins, to our one-on-one meetings, or have any one-on-one meetings with me at any time, or phone calls, to invite them to specific community forums, advisory sessions, work groups. And also I talked to them about the difference between our board meetings and study sessions, and invited them to come to our study sessions where they can listen and learn about the work that we're doing. And many of them were interested in that. So we'll be more intentional next year about sending them the agenda of our study session so that they can be a part of that. So I'm really excited. They're excited about this tweak in the format as we move forward. And then other than that, I want to end by just welcoming our two student board representatives, Casey and Zephyrin. So normally what will happen is you guys will have board reports. We're going to train you. Don't worry. You guys are sitting and listening a lot today, but you'll be more actively engaged as we move into the next school year. So I'm really glad that you're a part of our team.
I want to start by welcoming the two of you, and I can't wait to get to know you even better, and end our work together in the next year, in the next 2 years, actually. So welcome, and I'm glad you're here. I wanted to give a quick update on the Whitney RFP process. So, and a formal press release, we intended on doing it today, but I wanted us to make sure that everybody was communicated with on all parties. So we're going to send it out tomorrow. We are proud to announce that we have 2 early learning partners for our Whitney RFP process. I want to share that it was a very rigorous process. We had a very specific criteria and a very structured review and scoring process. And both of our partners scored very high in their respective bids for the sections that they were awarded. We are excited to establish a partnership with Boys and Girls Club of Skagit County for Section A, which is the part of the RFP to lease space at Whitney to provide before and after school and daycare services to children, students, and families in the Anacortes community and fulfill a need that is desperately needing fulfilled. And we're looking forward to the work ahead with that partnership. We're also very pleased to continue with Anchors Away and expand those services for Section B of the RFP for the blended preschool program, which currently and will continue to support over 90% of full inclusive programming for students with disabilities in the developmental preschool program, while also serving students in preschool in our community. And they're going to be adding a toddler program. So we're excited about having these 3 groups, our developmental preschool, the Anchors Away blended program, and then the Boys and Girls Club working together. And we look forward to actually doing some collaborative work as a collective group in the Whitney area. And I just wanted to say that I'm really impressed with the applications that both of these providers submitted. They had really clear visions. They had a level of detail that really explained how they wanted to provide services. They had supporting data to support and allow us to see how their vision can come to life and what their past experience has been to support continued success and experiences and partnership. And then it was clearly aligned to the district strategic goals, which made them top contenders. So we are really looking forward to fulfilling the RFP and deepening this partnership and meeting community needs. I do want to say that we're officially going to have the contracts in place at the August 8th board meeting, and that the Boys and Girls Club will be able to move in at the mid to end of August. They do have to do some licensing to be able to actually provide services. So they are intending on providing those services as soon as possible, but they may need there might be a delay in implementing services when we first get into Whitney. So, but they will go as fast as they can and as fast as the licensing processes responds to them. So we're very much looking forward to that. And then, we have been, our students, our staff, and as our whole entire district and our community has been running, like racing to the end and not losing a minute. So I just wanted to say that I'm so proud, and it's been amazing to be a part of, and not being able to be at everything, but all of the end of the year events, both fun and then actual very critical work. As people have shared, Heather's worked until the end to set us up for success, and we had our curriculum training for Amplify last week. And so I'm really excited to see the work that's coming ahead for that in our blended program and how we're getting to know how to really use it both from a digital perspective and the blended paper pencil perspective. We had our tech forum, and the surveys were sent out. So those are due on Monday at the end of the day for both staff and for families. And we're going to take all of the information from the tech forum, the surveys, and identify some first quick wins that would be aligned to our current work and our strategic plan, and have those be part of our next steps of our work in technology in schools. And that will be a first step of many in the process of continuing to evolve in our work around technology and instructional practices. And I think that might be it. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. We have board comments. I'll let you go first. I have something to say.
Casey, Zephyrin, welcome. You guys have big shoes to fill, but I trust that since you're here, you're going to do it. So welcome. Excited for both of you. quick on community partnerships. I know you mentioned a lot about food and services. Another one I just want to call out and recognize publicly is the work that's about to begin with Food to Go, who typically during the school year brings bags of groceries to the schools on Thursdays. This is their off week as they prepare to transition into delivering those grocery bags to homes throughout the community over the summer. And that is a critical need that's filled for a lot of families. And they're a fantastic partner with us at the district, and I just want to make sure that we publicly acknowledge them. And if there's any way that you can either support them through rolling up your elbows and helping pack grocery bags, or financially, whatever support anybody may feel compelled to provide to them, know that it's going to our students, and it's fantastic. And then I just want to say thank you for organizing the Tech Forum. I think that was a very important first step, and I'm excited to see the work that you're going to undertake. Thank you.
I just want to quickly publicly acknowledge, I've been to like so many events the past couple of weeks, from award ceremonies, athletic events, concerts. Today I went to a play at the middle school. Just all the work that the staff has put in. June is the most probably busiest and stressful month for educators. They're just trying to get their students to the end of the school year and wrap up grades and all the final projects and tests and everything. And on top of that, they have provided an amazing experience for students to end the school year with all the events and wonderful things that happen. So just want to acknowledge the time and effort that the school leaders, the teachers, all the support staff put in to make sure that students are recognized and they have opportunities to perform and to shine at the end of the school year. I just think it's been an amazing couple of weeks celebrating students and all their accomplishments, and just all of the work that educators put in to make that happen doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah, I think the library thinks I don't work there anymore this month because I always had something, and I said I just lived at Brodniak for a week. Not as much as probably some of you, and I saw both of our new student board reps at different things. So I know, even though I also know you were fantastic candidates because I got to be there, that you're going to be representing a wide variety of students and you're out there doing it. So I look forward to that work with you. So many wonderful things that I could say, but it's been nice to be a part of it. I wanted to add just one more thing that I had not been able to say about Heather. Not to bring us back, but also, I have never seen someone work until the last second to the level that you have with absolutely no break, that you didn't take a moment. I mean, we all kind of did this when we found out this is what we would have to do months ago. And you acknowledged that, and then you just carried on, maybe more so, making sure that we were as prepared as we could be. And I saw that, and so impressed by it, and so grateful. And I don't think that got said specifically. I've never seen somebody do that with the kind of grace and poise that you have, so thank you.
All right, thank you. So we're going to move on now to student comments. So students, anything else you would like to say? It looks like we have, sorry. Do we have building reports? Okay, it's not on my thing in front of me here. So last building reports of the school year, which is super exciting. I can't wait to hear. So we're going to start with Gabby and NCTA.
Okay, I have mine written on my phone, but wait, is this on? I can't tell. Okay. So the main goals in Ms. Brower's improvement plan is to increase attendance and dive deeper into understanding the lack of attendance that follows with kids failing portions of the classes. Another one of Ms. Brower's goals is to add more internships built in with each program, which is something that I think is so amazing. And then extend a lot of those programs to adding a second year option. So kids that have done the first year can move on and get more internships and job opportunities in the second year of that class. And then we're also really excited to see that they're going to be offering a PM session after like the regular PM session for kids that maybe like work jobs all day and then get their school in at night, which is really awesome to see. And then the evidence that Ms. Brower has collected to support that is many students have gotten amazing jobs right out of NCTA from the relationships that they have built in NCTA, which is just something that's so cool to see. A ton of kids got accepted into the nursing program at the University of Washington. A lot of kids getting accepted into the veterinary program at Washington State, which is just an amazing program. And then the NCTA helps them get further along in that process. So that's kind of a lot of the information she's collected from there. And then Miss Brower and Mr. Donaldson have socialized with the student body in multiple different ways. I can attest to that because I go to that school, and every morning I just see those two waving everybody in, greeting them, always with a smile on their face. And then Ms. Brower also does grade checks, and then she'll like check their attendance and make sure students are where they need to be. And another part of NCTA is for kids that need to get some credits filled and learning in a different way. So she'll really keep up with that and make sure that those students are getting their credits filled, which is pretty awesome. And then how the improvement plan connects to the pillars of the strategic plan, she follows that very closely. She's always finding a way to get students involved in the work life. If that's just like throwing them in internships, recommending them different jobs to work at, she can always make sure that students are getting done what they need to do and providing them with opportunities every single day. When Ms. Brower asked me, or when I asked Ms. Brower if there's anything she wanted me to add, she told me I could just add whatever I want because I go to that school. And I just wanted to say that Ms. Brower is one of the most hardworking people that I know, and she will do anything for her students, and she is always on the look for new opportunities. Like every single day, she's always checking something new. It's awesome. And then I would definitely recommend NCTA to anybody that exactly if that program is there and they know what they want to do in life. So, yeah.
Thank you. Paige, your first building report.
I know. Before I start, I would also like to say I went to NCTA last year. Totally recommend. It was really great learning experience for me. So, okay, so I did Mount Erie. So the main goals of Mr. Swartz' school improvement plan were continuing the panorama survey. So they had very promising results and were ranked the highest out of all the elementary schools. And then scores have gone up since the last panorama survey was given in the fall. He wants to continue the 4th grade ELA and math intervention. It's the largest class and needed the most attention specifically this year. And then continuing SEL and ruler-based intervention. And then all teachers provided a good pace and curriculum to all students, so continuing that into next year. Mr. Swartz collected this data through SBA scores. So when I talked to him last month, 3rd grade had just finished and 72% passed. So that was a really great result. And then there were growth in scores through MTSS, which was really great. And then interventionalists, specialists keep track of growth and progress as well. He has socialized these outcomes by staff meetings every month. He has a leadership team that also meets once a month, and then they do overviews at PDs, and then the next staff meeting they're having is on June 17th, so that's just in a couple of days. And then the school improvement plan connects to the pillars of the strategic plan by students are provided with both social and emotional health. They have access to grade level support. There's a huge partnership with the PTSA and community members to really make sure everyone is included. So they recently had a garden cleanup, and then a few weeks ago, Mr. Schwartz participated in the dunk tank. So he really wanted me to add that. And then there's nothing else he'd like to share about the school.
Great, thank you. Any other student comments this evening? You just have to slide it up, I think. Yep.
Is it on? Oh,
Yep.
there we go. I just wanted to say that I appreciate everybody welcoming me to the student board. I didn't want to interrupt anybody's speeches to say that, so I wanted to say it now.
Thank you.
I also just wanted to add on to what Zephyrin said. Yes, it's been such a welcoming community that I've just walked into and raised my hand into. So thank you for making it such a welcoming experience so far, and I'm excited to work with you guys for the next 2 years. That's scary that I only have 2 years left, but
Yeah.
I'm really excited to work with you all and work with Gabby and Paige over the next year.
Yeah, I wanted to welcome you guys on too. I forgot to say that, but I'm really happy to have you guys here.
Me too.
Awesome. Thank you all. And we hope you all have a really great last day of school tomorrow. Yeah. Yep, one more day. We are going to then move on to a finance update. Mike is ready.
All right, enrollment's done. We have all of our months counted. And we dropped a little bit more than I guess you could say I anticipated towards the end of the year, because yes, last year we held on to them really well. So I guess it's a little more normal, but I was hoping to do a little bit better, but still, I think we did pretty good compared to projections. I think I pointed out in-person enrollment ended 66.34 FTE higher than what I projected, and even 27.8 FTE higher than the previous year. So that's good. I'm not going to change my enrollment projections for next year. And I think for a while I've been saying I think we're going to end around 2,542.92 total FTE for the year. And it ended up being 2,540.22. And like I said, we lost a few more kids towards the end of there, but not huge. So I'm pleased with enrollment. Any questions on the enrollment report?
I just want to say, Mike, you've consistently impressed me year after year with your enrollment projections, and it is a science and it's a skill, and it means a lot to me as a superintendent to know that I work with such a highly skilled finance director. So thank you.
I want to agree, and also name that if you're going to end a little bit off of what you project, it's better to be higher than lower. So just appreciate your skill, and also appreciate you being conservative so that we end in a positive way and not a negative way. So appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous about kindergarten next year. That's the toughest one to project. So I'm a little nervous about that one, but we'll see how it goes.
We have faith in you.
I'll move on to the finance report. April is always a good month for us, just to be clear. So I'm up in like everything, even from my projections. So I received a little more taxes than I anticipated than a typical, I'll say April. We're up in local receipts. The state revenue we knew would be up because enrollment's up, and that also affects some of those grants, and even our transfers, because we spent more money in the technology area that we were able to reimburse ourselves for. That's all, doing fine. Still up in our payroll costs. I think that, that continues through the rest of the year, as we know. But our MSOCs are down. And of course, that is also related, though, to the fact that we have more students, and therefore we're paying more overload, things like that. So, and currently we have a fund balance above $1 million for the first time in a while. So that's pleased. I'm still, it's going to turn right around and get tight at the end of this month. I don't know how tight yet. May have to borrow a little bit. We'll see, but we'll pop right back out of it in July.
So Mike, I know that this is good news, but I also want to just paint the bumper sticker logo that we're nowhere near where we need to be with our fund balance.
Right.
So I just want to make that very public, that just because we're a little bit up doesn't mean that we've met our goals.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Also, just want to reiterate that May and June, we know from history, dips back down.
Yeah.
So we're still projected to be where we planned to be by the end of the year.
Bad. May's not too bad. June, I'm a little worried about, because that's the lowest, one of our lowest months of the year will be June. And that's just because, in May we get 5% of our apportionment. In June we get 6% of our apportionment, and then I get 12.5% in July. I'm going to get more in July than we did in May and June. So, huge difference.
Thank you. Questions about this one?
This is related to the Whitney RFP, but as they relate to one another, and I think you answered this, but I can't recall. How long will it take that project, as we understand it now, to become budget neutral? I expect that at some point in the on-ramping, there'll still be expenses for the district to absorb. Is that true? And if so, how long before we expect it to become neutral?
I'm going to share based on the conversations and during the selection process. I'm hopeful that year 2, they will have a fully robust program, and then that will increase the amount that we get. But I'm thinking year 2 will get closer to a neutral, and year 3 will be in a better place.
In the year 1 expenses, that will be a net expense for us. Do they look similar to what we're currently spending there, or are they markedly different?
It is going to cover utility cost, but they are renting and using more space.
Okay.
Yep.
And then tying the budget and the enrollment reports together, if I remember correctly, this is a good thing, we spend more per student, generally speaking. We spend more per student than we get from the state. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and that's a good thing for our students.
Well, because we're spending our local levy dollars
Right.
as well, yes.
But so my question is, at what point, so when we get, when our enrollment goes up, at first blush, that looks like a good thing because our enrollment goes up and there's revenue that comes with each of those numbers. But because we spend more than we get, that also means that we're pulling more and more out of the levy. Is there a point where, is there like an elbow where you come around the corner and it stops becoming a tax on the levy and you actually end up ahead? Or is this a continuous process with each new enrollment, we take more from the levy? Does that question make sense?
I think so. I think if our enrollment grows, say next year grows, and I'm not projecting it grows, I project it stays flat. But let's say it grows by enough where we might need to hire another teacher because I'm going to get and I'm going to get money from the state that says, hey, you're generating another teacher, so we need to maybe hire another teacher to take care of the enrollment growth. That teacher costs more than what we collect in the levy, than what the state gives us, so therefore we have to pay more out of our levy for that teacher. On the other hand, our levy amount that we can collect goes up because it's capped by the per pupil amount that we can collect from levy, but that's a lag, so that'll be the year after we get the kids that we'll start to have that kind of impact where we can collect a little more from that. So so the first year, it's going to cost us more. That first year we start to, when we have growth, if that occurs, it'll cost us more than what we have available. Yeah, so yes, it's problematic.
Thank you. You may talk about the audit now.
Yeah, I have an extra report this month. We did complete our audit, and the way audit reports go, it's a very clean audit, I would say. Because what you don't want is an audit finding, right? That's the worst one to get, is an audit finding. The second one you don't want to get, really, but you'll always get them typically every year, is called management letter items. That's where they officially really write it down and say, if you don't fix these things, it's going to become an audit finding. We had none of those. So that's what you call a really clean audit. If you have nothing in either of those categories, it's very common to get management letter items. Then below that is called exit items. And the exit items are things they just share with me, really, on a piece of paper, though. It's written. And those are just things like, I think I mentioned in here, my schedule of expenditure financial assistance. It's a report that I do and provide to the state. And I swear I shared it with Jose, and he reviewed it. And I thought we put our initials on it, but I couldn't find the actual document to prove it. Therefore, I didn't have the documentation needed. So, and I think most of these just simply had something along the lines of, and the other things I had them review, we had those documents. But really, that's a level that the things I reported to you there aren't normally something you even hear about. But I just thought, transparent-wise, I'd rather you see those things that we hear. The one thing I'd like to point out, though, we did have that audit finding from the 21-22 school year for the Emergency Connectivity Fund. And just earlier this week, we received their certified letter letting us know that, A, we don't owe the money, which is nice. But the reason we didn't owe the money is because we were in compliance with their rules and regulations, as we had argued that we were. So even though we got an audit finding, and we argued the audit finding that we felt we were in compliance, the auditors felt we weren't. The FCC, who was the governing body for this, said you were in compliance, and it says that in their letter. So I feel really pleased. I have to give some credit to Robert Pohl, who did the things that needed to be done at the time we got it and documented it well. and Rich King knew exactly where it was, how to get it, pull it out and give it to me. And then I, of course, presented to the auditors in such a way to say, no, we met it all, and they felt we didn't. So it's doing it right the first time, and it was done right the first time. I was pleased with the outcome of that.
I just want to acknowledge you, Mike, because a lot of people don't understand what the finance director does other than just finance. But Mike is not only does finance, but the amount of every year we have to do audits, and the audits involve multiple interviews, pulling of data, looking at archives, and he will spend weeks at a time doing nothing but audit interviews. And that happens every year. And so I just want to acknowledge the amount of work you have on your plate, let alone managing transportation, food and nutritional services, and the maintenance of our district. And I just appreciate the details that you provide and the work that you're doing, and acknowledge the hard work you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. I enjoy my job and the people I work with.
Yeah, I want to echo that, and just want to name that on the audit exit conference that we had, how thankful the auditors were to you, Mike, for all of the time you put in, all of your detail, and just so complimentary of your work in the district. And I mean, it's not just by accident that we had such a clean audit. It's because of your diligence and hard work, and just really appreciate that. And also want to I would be remiss if I didn't shout out WASDA, because they really mobilized around the FCC findings, because many districts across the state received that audit finding. And there was a big effort from WASDA to try to clarify and really go to bat for all the districts that received that finding. And so just thankful that our membership in WASDA paid off a little bit in that regard. That Justin and I were on some calls about that, and there was a lot of problem solving going on behind the scenes to make sure that all the districts that did what they were supposed to do didn't get hit with an audit finding. So,
and I don't know how the others fared yet.
Hopefully it was similar.
Because some of them, though, had different problems, multiple issues. We had one, and I really felt that we complied with the one. But other people have other issues that I don't know how theirs is going to turn out.
The complexities of COVID.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
All right,
just appreciate your hard work. Great. So we're going to move into committee updates. I'm not sure we have any, but Jack, is there a WIA update? Okay. And a legislative update? Great. Thank you. It's wrapping up the school year. So new business, we have the superintendent evaluation. I will speak to it, and then if anybody else wants to, or if we I don't think we have questions of our own evaluation that we wrote, but just want to commend Dr. Irish and the whole cabinet team for an incredible job this year, working towards the goals that the board has put forth on the strategic plan and the annual operating plan, despite continued obstacles and challenges, budget being, I would say, the primary one, but there's others as the school year goes along, remaining focused on the goals that we've set forth, like at the beginning of the school year, and just all of the dedicated body of work. I feel like every time we had a pillar report every single month, it was more was done than what we even said should be done. And we know that you're all working under like immense constraints, staff, time, budget, and just really appreciate the work. And Dr. Irish, your leadership, leading the cabinet team, keeping everybody focused on the work, managing complex capacity issues, and just really keeping, I think it was said already, but keeping your eye on singularly focused on student learning and making that the focus. We just really appreciate it, and just appreciate your work. And we're really, I know we're not voting on the contract yet, but it's coming up in consent agenda, but really thrilled to roll your contract and say that we hope you're around for 3 more years at least. Anybody else want to say anything about the evaluation?
try to be quick because I know we're almost done. But we've talked about the wonderful staff that you have and the difficult decisions you've been having to make and all the incredible things we've watched students do over the last year, last weeks. That is a testament to your leadership. Thank you. This reflects that, but thank you for all your work. And does anybody else have comments, or shall I just go ahead and say, can I? Okay.
I just want to make sure that we note so that if anyone is curious, if we're just seeing this on new business tonight and voting on it, that this is a year in the making. And as we evaluate with each pillar and we work with Justin and his team to talk about where there's opportunities and where we're celebrating successes. And then we've been working together as a board one-on-one over the last weeks, and we had an executive session tonight. So there's a lot of work that goes just into this evaluation. So I want to make sure that the community knows and the staff know that this is something that we all take very seriously, and that the staff and the board spend a lot of time making sure that we're staying the course. And so thank you for your work. As you know, that we appreciate you, and also just how much work it is to get through the evaluation process. And so I feel really good about the work that we did here. So I move that we approve the superintendent evaluation report.
Thank you, Meredith. Is there a second? Thank you, Diana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Awesome. So we have consent agenda. I just want to publicly acknowledge, I talked about the superintendent contract, but want to publicly acknowledge that there is also an addendum to the contract that's included that states that the superintendent for next year will take no raise to his pay. And just want to also name that we recognize that that is true for Dr. Clifford and for Mike as well, that the three leaders have agreed to not take any raise in pay for the next school year, which we know doesn't at all line up or match the amount of workload that's going to be added to your plates with the reduced staff at the district office. So it's in some ways it's a bit contradictory because you're going to be doing more for basically less. So we appreciate you three making that sacrifice and taking the first step for next year's budget already. And we know that the continued ongoing budget challenges and agreeing to do that. And it's, again, not what's best for our district and not what we would like to see happen or have to do. We just want to acknowledge that. Any other comments around the consent agenda? Great, then I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Meredith. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Diana. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great, and with that, our board calendar commences in August, almost said October.
Yes.
I fast forwarded way too far. We will be on summer recess in July, but we will have a business meeting and budget hearing on August 8th, and then adoption of the budget for next school year on August 22nd, and then really looking forward to an extended amount of time for our board to have our retreat at the ESD down the road on August 23rd. And with that, I'm going to adjourn us for the year.